My brother said to me at dinner, some teenager came by looking for you. He said he was your son. My wife was stopped cold. My two teenage daughters stared at me in disbelief. I asked my brother what he was talking about. He said, you tell me. Everyone glared at me, and I asked him again. I have no idea what you're talking about. He went on. I opened the door for some kid, and I asked him, can I help you? And he said, I'm looking for my father. And he described you exactly. I wondered if this was some kind of a prank that he set me up for. My brother has been known for some elaborate pranks and weird scams over the years. I asked, what did the kid look like? He smirked, just like you. Exactly like a younger version of you. Now I started to get nervous, and my mind went immediately through every woman that I ever dated and which one could have kept such a secret from me. None of them came to mind. After not really placing any woman to be the guilty party, I said, this has to be some weird coincidence or mistake because I'm pretty sure I would know if I had a third child. I giggled awkwardly, hoping someone else would give me a smile or a nod or something. No one did. They all just stared at me as if I had suddenly developed leprosy. My brother said, well, you can say whatever you want, but the truth will eventually reveal itself. He's enjoying this way too much. I asked, what do you mean? He smiled and said, your son will be joining us for dinner in about 10 minutes. My wife tossed her napkin and said, can we talk in private? I followed her into our bedroom, and she turned to me and asked, is there something that you need to tell me? I said, I'm surprised that you're so quick to assume that I'm lying. She sharply responded, why would your brother be making this up? It makes no sense. Why don't you at least wait to meet this kid before you start blaming me? She walked out pissed. I heard a knock at the door, opened it up with my whole dumb family watching from behind me, and I saw him. It was like I was transported into a terrifying science fiction film where I was watching an exact replica of myself at 16 years old. His face, jawline, the shape of his nose, even the way he tilted his head to look up at me was an exact match. My wife and daughters couldn't stop staring at him, probably thinking the same. He quietly said, hey dad. I said, I'm sorry, have we met before? He responded, no, we haven't. And I'm sure you're really confused right now and wondering who my mom is and what happened. I can explain, but do you mind if I come in? He waved at everyone else, and they all kept staring at him like he was a zoo animal. He said, my mom hid her pregnancy from you because she didn't want to burden you with raising me. I cut him off. What's your mother's name? He said, I promised her I wouldn't tell you, and I have to stay true to my word. Plus, she has no idea I'm here. She'd kill me if she found out. That made me even more suspicious. So I said, well, how do you expect me to believe you if you don't tell me who your mother is? He pulled out a piece of paper, handed it to me, and said, here. It was a DNA test that stated me as his father, but this could easily be forged. He asked, do you mind if I stay for a little while? I'd just love to see the people I come from and get to know some of you, and then I'll leave and never bother you again, I swear. That made my wife and daughters all feel for the poor kid and welcomed him in. He stayed for hours and mostly stayed quiet and just listened. My daughters assumed he was telling the truth and shared everything about themselves. Even my wife started treating him as if he was her own son. I sat back and watched this all unfold, knowing something wasn't right. He got up to use the bathroom, and he was gone for a pretty long time. I went to check on him, knocked on the door a few times, and there was no answer. I opened the door and saw that he had climbed out of the window. Then I heard my wife say, oh my God. I walked into our bedroom and saw that all of her jewelry had been stolen. We got scammed. The police told us that there's a guy going around studying certain people and uses prosthetics to pretend to look like them. His nose and ears and eye color were all fake. Then my brother said, I memorized his license plate. When he left earlier, I did it just in case he was a scammer. It takes one to know one. My brother's always been a scammer in a legal, annoying kind of way. The cops caught him at a truck stop. About a week later, we got my wife's jewelry back. My wife and daughters all apologized to me for assuming the worst.